Today I'm going to talk about the military. There was a wonderful article in the National Post a couple days ago talking about the transformation of the military into a social justice organization. And people who have listened to me know that I take great issue with using the military as kind of a political experiment or something because when you're in the military, you've essentially agreed to put your life at risk for the nation. And in order to succeed in operations that are violent and dangerous, you have to have group cohesion. And so when you enter into basic training, the first thing they do is strip you of your identity. You have to leave all of your baggage at the door when you go into those barracks. You have to forget who you are, and they're going to build you into somebody new. And then as you get built into somebody new, your identity becomes the unit, right? As they had in Few Good Men, unit, core, God, country. What the Department of National Defense is doing from the direction of the Liberal Party today is instituting mandatory social justice training for members in the military, which is fixating on race. And some of the quotes that came from this National Post article really burned my ass because they're teaching people that if you say you don't see color, you're part of the racist problem. I always thought we shouldn't see color, we should see humans. And when you're in a military unit, you shouldn't see color, you should see human beings you can depend on to succeed in the mission. But by teaching that, they were actually teaching in this course about white privilege, right? You're in a military that's trying to build soldiers. Why are you teaching them at this stage that? Because it runs counter to what you have to do. By focusing on identity, by insisting on everybody keeping their identity, you're making it extremely more difficult to build units that can operate as a core, as a unit. At some point, somebody's got to address the fact that the military is being politicized, and the senior leaders at the military, and I'm talking chief of defense staff and all of the generals that are cowardly keeping their mouth shut when they know this is happening. If we ever have to deploy somewhere, the price will be paid in Canadian lives. And the social justice warriors forcing this down the throats of the military are undermining our operational effectiveness. And I am so upset that we don't have senior generals resigning over it or at least speaking out about it, but they're also cowed because they're just terrified of being charged or called a bad name by somebody in the political sphere. And it's really bad when the Prime Minister's office terrifies our Canadian generals and admirals so that they can't speak about what's good for Canadians' defense policy.